So y'all clicked on this video because y'all wanted to know how often should you get retwist. What's up, y'all? Some lots of people. Wait, oh yeah, y'all can't hear me, can y'all? Oh snap! I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because I'm like getting only 6 hours of sleep, which honestly isn't that bad. Every time I'm just super tired after coming home after school. But I'm gonna go put my stuff down and get into the video. Let's get into the video. Alright, what is up, all of y'all smart people? It's TheMunchBowl here, and today, just a few disclaimers before the video gets started. For one, my Instagram has been blowing up. A lot of people have been DMing me, so if I don't get back to you, know that it's nothing personal, that I just have a lot of people to get back to, and it's like, it's a lot. Also, don't feel discouraged to DM me, because if you have any questions about anything, doesn't even have to be about hair, but if you have questions about anything or just want to talk to me, you can DM me. But just know that I may not get back as soon as possible, because I just have a lot of people to get back to. And well, I don't know. Yeah. But also, I was thinking about dyeing my dreads black temporarily. It's like temporary dye, just to see if I would like it and just see if y'all would like it. So if y'all want to see my hair black, all the way black, make sure I comment that down below. But without any further ado, let's get into the video. So y'all clicked on this video because y'all wanted to know how often should you get retwist. I feel like this is a fairly simple answer. As you see, my hair is not retwisted. It's usually looking more freeform than this. You see I have this thing sticking up. That's because it's a huge Congo. It has like 10 to 15 dreads, maybe even 20 dreads in one, and it's a really big Congo. And if you want to avoid your hair looking like this, or this, or this, or this, or this, then make sure you get retwist, because like if you don't want that quote-unquote freeform type look, then you obviously want to make sure that you twist your hair and maintain your hair. But just know, if you twist your hair and maintain your hair is not considered freeform or semi-freeform. The reason why my hair is freeform, yes, I used to twist it, but now I don't. That's why it's semi-freeform. But if I twist it again, it won't be freeform. But if that's too complicated, don't worry about it, because it's just names. But if you're in the beginning stages, say you started out with comb coils, you really do have to keep up with maintenance with comb coils, especially if you wash your hair, because I do believe you should wash your hair in the beginning stages. I don't believe you should wait a long time before washing your hair. But it isn't logical to wait all the way until your hair is locked up to get retwist, because that whole process takes 3 to 4 months, which you don't want to wait that long to wash your hair. And I have a whole video talking about when you should wash your hair and all that type of stuff, so it'll give you more clarity. And one thing I mentioned in that video is, you want, every time you wash your hair, make sure that you twist your hair as soon as you get out of the shower. Well, it doesn't have to be as soon, but when your hair is still damp, make sure that you retwist it again, because that will make sure that the unravel will ravel back up. But obviously that isn't like a legit retwist, because you don't want to do it with gel. You want to do it with your damp hair. You can either twist them with your fingers or with the comb if you want to make them really neat. But I just recommend fingers, just to make it quick. And you want to do it very lightly, just enough so the hair can be coiled up, because if it's coiled up, it's going to dry that way and stay that way, because that's how hair works. If it dries a certain way, it's going to stay that way. Because in the beginning stages, you're pretty much going to be touching your hair up. I just call it a touch up. You touch your hair up, not every time you get out of the shower, but every time you wash your hair. But on to like an actual retwist, like how often do you want to get an actual retwist really tight, really clean and maintained? This is my opinion. If you go to a well, first off, I would not recommend y'all go to the loctician. No disrespect, no hate. I'm not trying to shut anybody's business down. I know a lot of people are actually going through that, actually, which my prayers are actually going out to them. But I wouldn't recommend going to a loctician if you have the skill to do your hair yourself, because I've heard that people drop like $80 a month or $80 every 2 weeks to go to a loctician, and I just find that to be such a almost rip-off, really, because you can do all the stuff that a loctician does for free, absolutely free, unless you have to purchase locking gel or whatever you want to twist your hair with. But everything a loctician does, you could do it yourself. That's why I don't recommend that you go to a loctician. There definitely is a place for locticians. Definitely, if you want like a really clean retwist, of course, go to a loctician. But if you don't feel like spending spending all that money, I would not recommend going to a loctician. With retwisting yourself, it's very, very easy. But whatever you decide to do, if you decide to go to a loctician or if you decide to do it yourself, this is my number, this is my opinion. I think that you should only retwist every 2 months at most. I think that's the most often you should do it. No earlier than that, not every 2 weeks, but you don't need a retwist every 2 weeks anyways. And I would tell you why. Many people love the retwist look, having their sections showing, everything looking really nice and maintained and clean. But the thing is, if you know anything about retwist, if you know anything about your own dreads, you know that retwists do not last. Like, once you wash your hair, it's a wrap, right? It's gonna look like you never got a retwist, basically. Especially the more new growth you have, like me, I definitely would not be able to maintain a retwist, because it's easier if you only have a little new growth, because that little bit of new growth is going to come out, but most of the dreadlock is maintained. I have a lot of new growth, so that new growth will just puff back up and it'll look just like this if I were to retwist and then wash it right after. Which, don't wash your hair after retwisting, no matter what anybody says. Do not do that. That's not a good idea if you want to keep the retwist look. If you're getting all that tension on your scalp every 2 weeks, then that's just going to be really, really bad on your head, because you want your scalp to be the healthiest that it could possibly be, and with that your hair can just grow. And plus, you don't need a retwist for your hair to lock up. But like I said, you don't want all that tension on your scalp that could really damage your scalp. It could cause hair loss and all kinds of stuff. If you don't care about your hair not having that retwist look all the time, but if you still want to maintain your hair and get retwists, then I recommend y'all go get a retwist every 2 months. But if y'all just really love the retwist look, then get a retwist every month. But still, I will watch out, because your scalp health, and it could, over time, it could, start damaging your scalp if you do it too often. And also, people get into the debate if you should use wax or gel or just no product. I would say the healthiest options are oil and water, whichever one you do, which I think water is the best, but I don't think it will hold as well. And I think the best thing that will hold your hair is wax, just because of how thick wax is. But the thing about that, obviously you don't want all the types of wax in your hair, because wax repels water. It isn't soluble with water, so it'll be more difficult to wash out wax than to wash gel out of your hair. So I think to get the cleanest retwist look, you can use locking gel. But if you want the healthiest option, I would say water, or water and oil, but not wax. I don't think anybody should use wax on the hair. But yeah, I really think that's all I really have to say for this video. After you wash your hair, make sure you do a very light retwist, just to get the coils to form again, and let it air dry, either using a blow dryer or just letting it dry naturally without anything. And like I said, don't get retwist too often. I would recommend that if you don't really care about your hair looking clean all the time, then you can go 2 months or even more without a retwist. But if you just really love the retwist look, you love retwist looking all really clean, then you could get a retwist at most every month, but no earlier than that. Because honestly, I just think that's too much, going on with the scalp. Now, I guess I'll end the video with this. Just know that your hair is not going to look amazing all the time. It's not going to look super clean and maintained all the time. Because think about it, once you wash your hair and all that stuff, it's just going to poof right back up again. But of course, while the time being, your hair looks clean and is getting more condensed, which puts it in a position for your hair to lock up. It doesn't lock up your hair, but it puts it in a position for your hair to lock up. But yeah, just know that when you see people in the pictures, they have that super clean retwist, most likely that's day 1 of their retwist. Your retwist isn't going to last super long, especially if you wash it. It's just going to pretty much probably poof right back up. But obviously, you can always maintain that by lightly retwisting it. But anyways, those are just my suggestions. These aren't like rules you absolutely have to follow, but these are just guidelines based on what I know about dreads so far on my journey. But anyways, I think that's it for the video. I thank y'all so much for watching this video. If y'all liked it, please make sure I like it. If you want to see more videos from me in the future, please make sure I subscribe and turn on post notifications so y'all never miss out on another video from me in the future. And with that being said, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video.